At this time, we'll have the posting of the colors by the Lake Region Color Guard. Following the posting, the Laker singers will sing the national anthem. Please remain standing, remove all headwear, and remain silent during the posting of the colors and the singing of the national anthem. Please continue to stand quietly while the color guard leaves the gym. You may be seated. Thank you, Lakers seniors and Mrs. Larson. As principal of Detroit Lakes High School, it's my honor to welcome you to our 129th commencement for the class of 2019. Tonight, we congratulate these men and women on their accomplishments and wish them good luck as they move forward to their future. At this time, I would like to introduce our first speaker, Maren Goldstein. Maren is the child of Rebecca Price and Mitch Goldstein. Maren has 3 siblings, Sydney, Greta, and Sarah. Maren has been an NHS president and participated in fall musical, speech team, student council, link crew, key club, interact, and DL Fragging. Her proudest accomplishment is facing her anxiety head on by stepping out of her comfort zone and choosing to go to college far from home. She plans to attend the University of Rochester in New York for psychology, and she is one of the top students of the class of 2019. Maren?
Friends, family, faculty, and the remarkable class of 2019. Good evening. I feel beyond honored to stand in front of you today to welcome you to our commencement ceremony. As I look out over your faces, I'm honestly in awe that this day has arrived so soon. As bittersweet as this day feels for many, I hope you also feel immensely joyous and proud for making it to this moment. In 8th grade, we were told that we were the worst class to go through the middle school. We were told that we would never make it through high school if we kept it up. But nevertheless, the rowdy, loud, high-spirited kids that left the middle school in the spring of 2015 did indeed make it to the finish line. Not only did we make it, but we made it with 4 state gymnastics team titles, 3 girls golf state team titles, 2 individual gymnastics state champions, a BPA state champion, an FFA state champion, and 2 Spotlight Award-winning musicals. That's pretty impressive for the worst class, if you ask me. This class is one of the most inspiring and successful groups of people that I have ever met. And through it all, we've managed to stay humble, love hard, and support others. I want you to take this moment before the rest of the ceremony and allow yourself to be proud. Let every inch of your heart and soul be filled with pride for what you have accomplished. Be greedy, be vain, just for these few hours. Because we have worked long and hard to make it to this point. Let every ounce of your body be thankful that you pushed yourself here. Class of 2019, we have done amazing things these past 4 years, and I have no doubt that we'll accomplish even more in our future. So I leave you with this. Be proud, but be humble. Be leaders, but be listeners. Be successful, but celebrate others' success more. Go explore, learn, and grow. But never forget where you came from. Thank you.
Thank you, Maren. Our next speaker is Mr. Doug Froke, Superintendent of Detroit Lakes Public Schools. Mr. Froke?
On March 6th of this past school year, the Detroit Lakes High School held a commitment to graduate ceremony for our 240 freshmen, or for the members of what will be the Detroit Lakes High School graduating class of 2022. Our high school staff set up the gym, much like it is tonight. We had some staff speak, and we had each freshman walk across the stage, much like the graduating class of 2019. We'll do about 30 minutes from now. We practiced graduation. We showed the class of 2022 what tonight looks like. And then, as they completed their journey across the stage, they stepped down to sign a banner indicating their commitment to graduate from high school. It was a really neat setting. That banner, with the 240 signatures affixed, is displayed in the halls of Detroit Lakes High School as a reminder of that commitment to graduate they made on that sunny March day. One of the speakers who shared his experiences with the freshmen that day was Mark Kaiser, who works in human resources at Team Industries. His speech was moving for sure. Of particular note was a poem he read by Ella Wheeler Wilcox called "'Tis the Set of the Sail." So powerful was that poem, in fact, that a provision of that poem will be prominently displayed as part of the decor when the high school is renovated. To the class of 2019, you will be forever recognized as a Laker, no matter wherever your travels take you. As a Laker, you have been adorned with the Laker sailboat logo in your time with the Detroit Lakes schools. Your sail is whole with the tools necessary to leave this port. With that, here's a shortened version of the poem that Mr. Kaiser read earlier this year. "'Tis the Set of the Sail" by Ella Wheeler Wilcox. "But to every man there opens a highway and a low, and every mind decideth the way his soul shall go. One ship sails east, one ship sails west, regardless of how the wind blows. 'Tis the set of the sail and not the gale that determines the way that she goes. Like the winds of the sea are the waves of time, as we journey along through life. 'Tis the set of the soul that determines the goal, and not the calm or the strife." To the class of 2019, Sail Club, it's time to chart your course. Congratulations. And to all of you in attendance, we are pleased to welcome you to the 129th commencement exercise of the Detroit Lakes High School.
Thank you, Mr. Pearl. This time I'd like to introduce the chairperson of the Detroit Lakes School Board, Ms. Amy Erickson. Ms. Erickson?
A couple of weeks ago, someone asked me if I ever got nervous when I had to speak in front of people, and I said, no, not really. And I realize now that that was a bold-faced lie, because right before I came here, I actually typed up the names of the board members just in case I blanked on anyone, even though I know the names very well. Before I introduce the board, I just want you to know, you guys in the red here with the hats, which are against policy, by the way. I want you to know what an honor and a privilege we consider it to be able to be part of the ceremony with you today. It really does hold a special meaning for us. It makes all the board work worthwhile. So, that being said, I'd like to introduce the Detroit Lakes School Board in order of time served, so to speak. Kylie Johnson, John Steffel, Jane Foltz, Jennifer Peterson, and April Thomas. And me, Amy Erickson, the Detroit Lakes School Board.
Also seated on the stage and assisting with graduation are Mr. Peter Lundeen, Area Learning Center Principal, Justin Messer, Assistant Principal, and Rob Nielsen, Activities Director. Our next speaker is Do-Yeon Kim. Do-Yeon is the child of Soon A-Wee and Han Soo Kim. She has one sibling, Na-Yeon Kim. Do-Yeon has been the Student Council President, the BPA Regional President, the Interact President, and the National Honor Society Vice President. She's also been involved in DL Thriving, Philanthropy and Youth, Speech, Cross Country, Math League, Math Club, Wing Crew, and Knowledge Bowl. Quite a few things, don't you think? Her proudest accomplishment is fulfilling her childhood dream of getting into Harvard University, where she will be attending in the fall. She is also one of our top graduates, Do-Yeon.
Good evening. I'd like to begin by thanking the school for the opportunity to speak today, Mrs. Pender, Mrs. House, and the rest of the Detroit Lakes High School faculty. And last but not least, I'd like to thank my family for their endless love, support, and sacrifices. I truly don't know how I would have accomplished all that I have without them. So, class of 2019. Over the last 4 years, we carefully counted down the years, months, and days until this moment. And every moment leading up to each and every break in between, just hoping that graduation would come sooner. Now that the moment is here, the one we always knew was coming, but never really expected to come so quickly, I am sad that we must leave the halls of this school, or rather, the friends, shout out to College Physics, and the memories that we have made within them. After reflecting upon the last 4 years, I have come to the conclusion that they have definitely been interesting. And what's a graduation without a trip down memory lane? As freshmen, most of our time was spent spraying way too much body spray and trying to decide if the dress was gold and white or black and blue. We began to learn that within these walls, directed study was actually called study hall, and the upperclassmen who never hesitated to correct us. It's safe to say that we dabbed and bottle flipped our way through the entirety of sophomore year. Oof, that still makes me cringe. We finally started to become a tad bit less awkward, or in my case anyway, and for some of us, 10th grade would become synonymous with crying every weekend before APUSH outlines were due. Then junior year rolled around. We couldn't walk 5 feet without seeing a fidget spinner, and slime videos took over the internet. We survived what every upperclassman warned us would be the hardest year of high school, unscathed. Well, relatively unscathed. Finally, excitedly and anxiously, we began our final year at Detroit Lakes High School. Before we knew it, we were experiencing our last of everything. Our last Friday night lights, our last school dance, our last gymnastics state championship. We also discovered that senioritis and the senior slide are both very real things, and we can all vouch for that one. Now, for those of you who know me, you know that I tend to worry in advance. However, it's clear that we have, as a class, experienced a lot. Normally, one would be afraid to take the next step. For some of us, that's college, and for others, that's to work. But I'm not. Our class is full of so much greatness. Not only do we have outstanding athletes with multiple state champions, but we have some serious brain power too. We have overcome the loss of loved ones, grown out of our awkward phases, for the most part, and become some pretty amazing adults. Again, for the most part. So here we are, May 25th, the moment we carefully counted down to by the years, months, and days. We will soon leave our bubbles and venture off into a world of much less parental guidance and many more mistakes. Yes, more than we have already made. So before we graduate, I'd like to answer a question that other towns seem to ask us so much. What's a Laker? Well, the Lakers are not simply made up of the town we live in or the school we go to. The Lakers are us and we are family. Many of us growing up together, arguing, making mistakes, and learning alongside each other. No matter where we are headed, from Moorhead, Minnesota, all the way to, in my case, Boston, Massachusetts, there are so many uncertainties that we face. But I am certain about one thing. The Laker family will always be here to pick us up during our lowest times and to celebrate our successes. But today, let's just celebrate our successes because we are all here eagerly waiting to graduate, and I couldn't be more proud of us, Detroit Lakes High School class of 2019.
Thank you, Lilian. Now the Detroit Lakes High School Concert Choir, under the direction of Mrs. Catherine Larson, will perform their selection, Breakaway. Thank you, Concert Choir. The graduating class of 2019 has asked Mr. Callan Malchow to be their faculty speaker this evening. Mr. Malchow has been with ISD 22 for the past 20 years here at Detroit Lakes High. He's taught a plethora of social studies subjects with a primary emphasis on economics and American government. Mr. Malchow earned his bachelor's degree from the University of Minnesota Morris. He has taken graduate classes at the University of Minnesota and Hamline University. Prior to coming to Detroit Lakes, he taught for 7 years at Moorhead High School. Mr. Malchow is married to Renee, has 2 brothers, 2 kids, 2 grandkids, a dog and a cat. Please give a warm welcome to this year's faculty speaker, Mr. Malchow.
Let me just state to begin with, this is indeed an honor. Just like I did in my class, I'll try to attempt to be humorous. Elise Lakin, I'm going to need your help in case I bomb. Again, it is indeed an honor, but it did just happen. Okay, this is my 3rd year in a row, and to get that kind of honor, you need to spend some money. So for those of you who I paid for your vote, checks go in the mail Tuesday. But I dated the date on your graduation day, 5/25/2119. I'm good for it. 100 years, they'll fly right by you. Go, hey, I got some money coming. All right. I look at the audience, and each year it's always fun, but the emotions you go through. Okay, for some of you, this is your first. Okay, you're looking at this going, I can't believe my oldest is graduating. For some, it might be the middle. You're like, okay, I'm getting good at this, still got one at home. If this is the youngest, okay, there could be some tears flowing. But I'm guessing there's at least a few of you who are sitting here going, 3 room, open room, man cave. I look out at all of you and I see the talent here. And it's easy to get down on yourself sometimes throughout your lifetime. And some of you might have just heard that and said, talent, I really don't have any talent. Every one of you has talent. You wouldn't be here tonight if you didn't have talent. Use those talents as you move forward in the future. You've opened the doors. Wherever life takes you, good, bad, in between, by having your high school diploma, you've left the doors open. The accomplishments of the class of 2019 are endless. I thought about this when we did our recognition ceremonies for the fall and winter activities. We put them on the big board. Guys, we'd be here till grad bash ended, going through the accomplishments of the class of 2019. We'd burn out the balls in the big screen. Mr. Froh and the school board would have to do another referendum to pay for the cost of a new one. And I'm guessing they're not ready to do that right now. But again, the accomplishments from academics, the arts, athletics, our industrial arts area, those of you in the workforce, that includes many of you, the accomplishments are many, and you'll always have those to take with you. Some future predictions for the class of 2019. I start out, the first 3 predictions are, my guess will be the first 3 millionaires of this class. The first person, I'm looking right at her, second row, Danny Bishop. Do you know Danny and her makeup skills? Okay? Unbelievable. I'm 94 years old. Look what she did with me before we started tonight. The miracle worker. Our second millionaire, Adam Sledgehammer. Sledge will take his guitar. Now you gotta understand, classic rock bands, you know anything about them, they still are trying to get as much money as they can, okay, this late in their careers. They don't always have the original members. They need a guitar for hire. That is Sledge. Do us proud. Our third one, sitting right next to Danny Bishop, Jake Betcher. Now, I picked this one up in Laker Live this year, and I think, and I've tried to instill in him his true calling. Okay? Jake became a master baker in a Laker Live episode. He used the name Todd. Jake will open up Todd's Tasty Treats, okay, which will go global and make him a multi-millionaire. My next prediction, 20 years from now, 2039, Minnesota State High School state gymnastics. Mr. Nielsen will still be working here. I knew you'd love that. He gets a special waiver from the State High School League. It allows our senior gymnasts from the class of 2019 to come back and compete in their late 30s. They win state by 2.2 points, defeating the actual high school team from Detroit Lakes, who becomes runner-up for the first time in 24 years. This prediction is for all of you as graduates of the class of 2019. They're the gatherings for the next 5 years, trying to stick together. And here they go. In the first year, all of us, and I have to represent because as a speaker, I'm kind of part of your class now. Kelsey Heyer will be flying us and housing us out to Hawaii, okay, to visit her, and definitely during the winter time. Year 2, we take a historic trip to Boston, as Doyon invites us out. Again, all expenses paid. Year 3, how's Daytona Beach sound? Salt Lake. We appreciate that. Hey, you're getting toward, what, $70,000 in education before? You can toss out a little money back to us. Year 4, now you're going to be responsible for your own travel, and it's a $250 fee, but it's worth it. We spent a glorious week in Nimrod. Which brings us to year 5, which is your first class reunion. You may not realize this, but the vote has already been held as who will be the chairperson, who won the election. And the surprising twist was Caitlin Bridgman. Now, for those of you who don't understand this, in my American government class this last semester, we held elections for numerous things. Constitutional chairperson, Caitlin Bridgman won. President of the United States, Caitlin Bridgman won. 3 weeks later, she's now Speaker of the House. Breaking news from her campaign manager, Alex Day, Caitlin's been elected the class reunion chair for the next 10 class reunions. And no offense to the Richmond family, as I know many of you for many years, she decides to change her name to Supreme Leader. Jack Schrammel, 20 years from now, he replaces Coach K as head coach at Duke University men's basketball. He hires Aaron Swenson, Connor Froke, and Carson Froke as his top assistants. It goes well. They make the national championship 5 years in a row. But alas, they lose every time to Texas Tech. Jack is so distraught that he resigns the position, gets out of coaching, but a year later, his true dream job in coaching comes open, and he becomes the head coach of the University of North Carolina Tar Heels. Bet you didn't see that one coming, Jack. Lastly, in my predictions, Colt Manel. At age 25, Colton takes the NASCAR by storm, driving the number 18 car. It goes so well for him that Mountain Dew Kickstart offers a $5 million a year sponsorship or unlimited supply. He takes the unlimited supply. If you do the math, it makes sense, really. He retires after 20 consecutive championships, goes into politics, and in 2052, the Benel Trump ticket wins the presidency. That's Barry, not Donald, okay? Class of 2019, advice for you in the future. Now listen close to this, because after you guys walk through here, it's no longer free, it's $10 a minute. Cash. Number 1, you knew this was coming. Get your Roth. Okay? Hey, you guys aren't getting any younger. Okay? You're getting your high school diploma, next thing you know, bam, retirement time. Number 2, laugh every day. And I mention that every year to any and everyone. I try to laugh every day. And it's not always easy. Many of you have been through some tough times in your lives. And you will be going through tough times in your future. I went through it this past December. I lost my dad on December 20th. But at 10 in the morning, I was by his side. My mom and I were by his side. But by the afternoon, after the tears had flown, we started reminiscing. And you know what? In his honor, we laughed. Laugh every day. Follow your passions, and you know that's an easy thing to say, and some of you are like, Snapchat's my passion. Where can I go with this? But seriously, and your passions maybe aren't developed yet, they may change, okay? But from that, most importantly, get yourself a job. We need, look around the whole entire gymnasium. We need you guys to get a job to pay for our Social Security. I'm retiring first, okay? It's all about me. One last piece of advice, you guys. Things aren't always going to go your way, and you know that, okay? Be accountable for what happens. But most importantly, have yourself a support network, okay? Your friends, your family, former teachers, okay? But again, don't go at it alone, all right? There's always going to be people there to help you. Okay? Make sure you have that available to you. 100 years from now, the class of 2119 will graduate. I won't be the class speaker. Or you on that one at least, okay. All right? But things will definitely change by then, but one thing will never change. You are the class of 2019. You are Laker now and forever. So it is my honor, on behalf of the entire administration, the K-12 teachers, paraprofessionals, secretaries, custodians, cooks, bus drivers, your neighbor's third cousin. Man, you guys have a lot of work. I congratulate you, the class of 2019. I leave you with this final message. One time in your life, no matter how big or small, don't be afraid to bend off alarm. Thanks for the class of 2019.
Thank you, Mr. Malchow. Each year, the senior members of the band select the piece the band will play at graduation. This year, seniors chose a piece they've played already and wanted to play it one more time because they really like it. Brave Spirit is a piece they played in 9th grade at the Pops concert when the theme was music from around the world. So now the Detroit Lakes Wind Ensemble, under the direction of Mr. Tim Seward, will be performing the selection, Brave Spirit. Thank you, Wind Ensemble. At this time, I'd like to introduce our final student speaker, Morella Grimm. Morella is the child of Carrie and Gary Krogsgaard. She has siblings Dawson, Everly, Sadra, and Kavanaugh. Morella has been the Interact Vice President, National Honor Society Secretary, and the Fall Musical Choreographer. She's also been involved in student council, philanthropy and youth, Link Crew, Key Club, Kid in the Corner, and she dances at Center Stage Dance Academy. She's humbled to have earned the Presidential Berry Foundation and Paulson Scholarships to pay for post-secondary education at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities, where she plans to major in pre-medical studies. She's also one of our top graduates for the class of 2019, and she's got some killer shoes on. Morella.
Good evening, family, friends, faculty, and of course the illustrious class of 2019. Let's make some noise! Now before we begin, I would like to start with some safety precautions, informing you that the exits are located here, here, and here in case of the likely incident that my speech crashes and burns. Now, if I could please ask all the graduates to stand. Now, if you would, can you all please take one step to the right and one step to the left? Perfect. Now you can all sit back down. Now, if not anything else, at least you could say that today my speech moved you. I would like to start by thanking my mom, dad, grandparents, and sisters, and older brother Dawson, what's up? As well as each and every one of you, because in one way or another, you have all even shown me what to do, what not to do, or what really not to do, and I'm very grateful for that. It is crazy to think that it's already been 4 years since we began high school as awkward, immature, dorky freshmen, but now I can say we're a little bit taller. But for real, this class is incredible. I mean, we have the all-star gymnasts, incredible athletes and artists and musicians, the cutest foreign exchange students. We all started high school together, confused, and seemed to have absolutely no chance of getting ourselves together. As the years continued, we slowly started to figure ourselves out, joining sports and clubs, and making new friends, and maybe getting a little better at procrastinating. For some of us, it may have been a confusing, more timely journey, while others of us seem to have a smooth sailing. However, because all of you are sitting here today is proof that you have solved this puzzle. But I hope you are all prepared, because now it is time for the big leagues. But before we worry about tackling this huge chapter of life, I would like to acknowledge that it has been a dream of mine to speak as a representative of our class for years. And even though I'm humbled and honored to be standing up here today as one of the top 10 of the class, I want you all to know that I am very well aware that I am in no position to be giving you life advice, just because I am really effective at using SparkNotes. Nevertheless, I would like to take this opportunity to share a few thoughts. First off, I would like to congratulate each and every one of you for your amazing accomplishments. Every single one of you has put in countless hours of hard work to be where you are today. I'm sure all of us have experienced failure at least once in our high school careers, but likely much more than that. However, you have all pushed past these setbacks and made it a priority to hurdle over any adversity that would come your way at graduation day. It is up to us to seize these failures as an opportunity for growth and as a learning experience. And today I am here to urge you to not let the fear of rejection hold you back from taking risks and chasing your dreams. Now, as cliche as it may sound, taking risks is such an important step in fulfilling your aspirations in life. Something as simple as taking another advanced class, joining a sports team, or applying for that internship can change your life experience for the better. For me, one of those intimidating risks was auditioning for the Fall Musical here in town. Now, as silly as it may sound, singing and dancing in front of 3 strangers is really scary, and as stated on the audition form, I quote, may result in emotional distress. Theater kids, dramatic? Never. Now, it was the first day of school, and I was indeed still known as the shy girl, but I was going to do it. I was going to audition for the musical. So 3 days and 7 breakdowns later, I headed over to the high school to sing Tell Her I Love Her, a show tune that still haunts me to this day. I walked in with my audition form and locked eyes, who I would soon know very well as Mrs. Larson, and realized she had her left hand stretched out in my direction. So I did what any normal person would do and took her hand, introducing myself as Marilla Groom. And she just stared at me and said, "Can I please have your audition form?" And it was in that moment that I realized you do not shake someone's left hand. And she really didn't care who I was in the first place. All she wanted was my audition form. But I continued with my audition anyways, only crying twice throughout the minute-and-a-half song. And somehow I still made it on the cast list that weekend. And from then on, there was no turning back. Musical remained to be my favorite part of high school, despite the blood, sweat, and tears. So many tears. And it has completely transformed me and my confidence. So I would like to thank all the coaches and instructors out there who transformed all of these graduates with their awesome experiences. And I would also like to thank my parents for listening to me sing Under the Sea for the past 3 years. I know many of you have had similar experiences where you were able to discover your passions due to the willingness to take a risk. And because of these risks, if you don't take them, your life is not going to be a roller coaster of endless discovery, but it will instead be a constant trip with no climatic destination. With this, I want you all to remember that you can't expect pure success on the first try. And you should never label yourself as a failure. As Thomas Edison once said, "I've not failed, I have just found 10,000 ways that will not work." It can be hard to face your failures, but it is necessary for you to grow as a person, try new things, and chase new passions. Everyone goes through this inevitable process of failure, yet there seems to remain a stigma that prevents us from facing the jaws of defeat and from admitting to our shortfalls. We become so obsessed with this image of success that we turn to hide our weaknesses, when really your success will never define you as an individual. And what even is success in the first place? We often get so caught up in reaching our goals that we fail to remember why we were striving for them in the beginning. We can constantly be planning new aspirations and looking to reach our full potential. However, it all leads back to why we have these dreams in the first place: the search for happiness. We get so caught up in fulfilling society's standards of success that we are losing track of the happiness we are all trying to obtain, therefore defeating the purpose of striving for these goals in the first place. It is so incredibly important to reach for your goals and take risks in the face of defeat. However, it is equally as important to live in the present and treat every day like it has meaning. We begin to stress ourselves out to no relief, and we just keep pushing and pushing because one day we believe that it will all change because we will have accomplished that happiness. But in order to be happy when we reach this end goal, we must be happy along the journey together. In the future, when we've experienced the world, we are going to reflect on our lives only to realize that what mattered was not how much money you earned, the amount of prestige you held, or the power you possessed. The only thing that really truly matters is the impact that you had on the lives around you. People are not going to remember your success. They will remember who you were, how you lived, how you loved, and in the end, if we're being honest, everything you have will rot, fall apart, and turn to dust. The only thing that will remain is what was in your heart. So be the person who encourages others to be their best. Be the person who lifts others up even when you can barely do so yourself. You can change the world. You can save a life. But it all starts by putting others first, being the shoulder to lean on, and holding yourself with integrity even if it means you will not win the race. If I can leave you with these few things, I want every one of you to go out into this world and take advantage of every opportunity that comes your way. And when greatness doesn't occur the first, second, or 10,000th time, get back up and try again. Never let go of those dreams. Be kind to everyone and enjoy the journey. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and congratulations, class of 2019.
Thank you, Burrell. In just a couple minutes, we're going to begin presenting you with your diplomas, but I'd like to reflect on a couple of things before we do. Once again, it's quite easy for me as the principal of Detroit Lakes High to talk about how proud I am of this group of seniors. Our student musicians have done a great job tonight. Let's give all of them a round of applause. Our student speakers have done a phenomenal job here tonight. Let's thank them as well. You know, our seniors have provided positive leadership to our school. They've done things like being link leaders to our freshmen as they become a part of our school. They've been involved, supportive, and excited for each other's accomplishments, showing up at events. They have exhibited what we have coined here as Laker Pride. Thank you for your Laker Pride. But I also wanted to share some advice for you to help you be successful in your future. So I have these 10 things, and I promise they're short. Number one, be positive. You will achieve much more when you have a positive expectation. Number two, show up. Be the person that can be counted on. Number three, work hard. It's one of the most important, and many of you do that already. Number four, get along. Working with others is going to be a big part of your futures, whether it's college or career or both. Pay it forward. Now, many of you have already started doing this, and that's awesome, but continue to invest in others as others have invested in you. Be flexible. This can be tough, but our world is changing so fast, you're not going to have a choice. Figure it out. Big one. Be a problem solver, not a problem identifier. Join the club. Be interested in your endeavors and get in the game. Let the other people be the spectators. Number 9, no whining. Change and challenge are part of everyday life. Remember, it's not what happens to you that shows your character. It's how you deal with what happens to you. And finally, the 10th one, of course I would have to say this, keep learning. Life is interesting and exciting when you look to learn in everything that you do. Be curious and look to find out what you need to know. This will make you an incredible asset in your college career as also in your other careers. So as you continue into your future, stay connected to your roots here at Detroit Lakes High and Detroit Lakes. As many of you heard the community members mention at the Senior Scholarship Night, DLHS is a great place to come back to, and it is a great place to be from. Cherish your time with your classmates tonight, and always continue to show your Laker pride. Congratulations, good luck, and Godspeed to all of you. So now, as the principal of Detroit Lakes High School, upon recommendation of the faculty, I certify that these young adults have completed the requirements for graduation as established by the state of Minnesota and the Detroit Lakes School Board of Education. Ms. Erickson, School Board Chair, and Mr. Froke, Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Lundin and I present to you the candidates for graduation for the class of 2019, the 100th 29th graduating class of Detroit Lakes. We ask the audience to applaud when your child comes across the stage. And Mr. Messer, would you please come forward and call the candidates? Doyan Kim with honors. Peyton Carlbrook with honors. Morella Grimm with honors. Benjamin Stearns with honors. Lily Burnside with honors. Maren Goldstein with honors. Aaron Oates with honors. Sydney Brinninger with honors. Jackson Carl Bloom with honors. Hayden Jernberg with honors. Isaac Anderson. Bobby Joe Anderson.
Mason Armstrong. Haley Ballard with honors. Charles Barnett Jr. Tatum Barnett. Eric Becker. Miranda Belmer. Mercedes Bellinger. Jocelyn Belfi with honors. Emily Belware. Jessica Burgum. Paige Burns. Jacob Betcher with honors. Danielle Bishop. Jalen Block. Shem Beckel. Sarah Bolar with honors. Benjamin Boongarden. Matea Bora with honors. Mason Borach. Matthew Branch. Sierra Branson with honors. Caitlin Bridgman with honors. Margaret Bubolz. Colton Bunnell. Logan Burhans with honors. Tyler Burnside with honors. Caitlin Cameron with honors. Hunter Campbell. Zane Campbell. Wyatt Carlson. Georgia Chiarello. Brianna Clem with honors. Dylan Colwell. Roland Cormier. Paige Crompton. Paige Jerry with honors. Chase Davidson. Alex Day with honors. Jacob Demers. Tia Doppler with honors. Riley Drack. Joseph Ekman. Jack Egan with honors. Natalie Eidenschaft. Nathan Eidenschaft. Shannon Eichel. Morgan Endress. Victor Ingham with honors. Caleb Fagerly with honors. Tom Felix. Sheridan Flanders. Karen Gettle. Abby Gray with honors. William Green. Fabian Greer. McKenna Gregerson with honors. Cody Greganis. Caitlin Grossman. Sydney Gulan with honors. Antonio Guzman Stilke. Alicia Hadia. Hunter Hagan. Kerrigan Halsey. Adam Hammer. Tyrell Heck.
All right, time
Christopher Hedlund. Madison Heidi with honors. Madison Henderson with honors. Kelsey Heyer with honors. Christopher Hilliard. Philip Heinrichs with honors. Gabriella Holm. Caleb Inwards with honors. Chase Gendryson. Alexis Justice with honors. Darby Johnson. Elishama Johnson. Grace Johnson with honors. Melinda Johnson with honors. Noah Johnson with honors. Christopher Joliker. Wesley Jones. Sarah Capon with honors. Abigail King. Grace Kinney with honors. Madeline Kirshner with honors. Garrett Knopf with honors. Ashley Kalinda. Alicia Kopak. Thomas Krabby. Lauren Pringle. Etta Krug. Branson Lockowitzer. Elise Lincoln with honors. Emily Larson with honors. Grace Lawrence with honors. Justine Lawrence with honors. Jenna Lindberg with honors. Annika Lindstrom with honors. Nicholas Lund. Sidney Lundberg with honors. Ellie Lundy with honors. Aaron Mack with honors. Logan Mackner. Samantha Mayer with honors. Lauren Manning. Ashley McDermott. Kendra McDougall. Maxwell McDougall. Mackenzie McDougall. Kaylee McMichael. Cole Medalak with honors. Kyle Miller with honors. Trinity Nicholas. Christopher Moore. Braden Morris. Alex Morrison with honors. Jade Morrison with honors. Ashley Mullencourt with honors. Matthew Nelmark with honors. Alexander Nelson. Ramsey Nelson. Jeffrey Newberry. Megan Noel with honors. Joshua Knoll. Cheyenne Norberg. Cora Ogeson. Noah Oles. Mark Olson. Tanner Olson with honors. Dale Oman. Michael Onstead. Emily Ortloff. Bailey Paul. Kylie Peterson with honors. Greta Petrick with honors. Ina Foreman. Brianna Price with honors. Hassan Quick. Reed Reller with honors. Ian Renner. Ariana Rennie. Jared Rennie. Josephine Retz. Danielle Rosa. Brennan Sather with honors. Carter Savage. Colin Smith. Sadie Schmidt. Whitney Scholes. Jack Schrammel with honors. Isaac Schumacher. Layden Shorts. Kara Seabird with honors. Ellie Seabird with honors. Trey Siebold. Adam Simons with honors. Wade Singer with honors. Emily Smith with honors. Samuel Spry with honors. Luke Stallworth. Alexis Stearns. Noah Steffel. Ava Steinmetz with honors. Sydney Stewart. William Stolman. Tucker Strassel with honors. Jacob Titan. Brooke Tullius. Devin Elliott with honors. Rachel Lave. Ariana Vedrotten with honors. Henry Vogt with honors. Brett Wabers. Angel Weinbach. Dawson Winter. Sullivan Wood with honors. Alexis Unanini with honors. Goliath Zarowski. Courtney Ziegler. Congratulations to the class of 2018.
class of 2019. All right, in a moment, we will retire the colors.
Baby Paul! Baby Paul! Pass it down to Baby Paul.
Little chaos is okay. All right, at this time, we're going to retire the colors. Please remember to stay quiet until they have left the gym. Once the colors have been retired, please allow the graduates and staff to leave the gymnasium. So graduates, why don't you go ahead and proceed outside. Again, on behalf of the staff and administration of Detroit Lakes Public Schools, I would like to thank all of our parents, family members, and guests for attending commencement tonight. At this time, please stand and remain standing until the colors have left the gym.